Alright, here we go. Another Marvel Disney Plus show, and it's time for me to review it. Now, all I gotta say is I make no promises that I won't accidentally call this Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It might slip.
Let's all go watch the review.
Hey everybody, how's it going? I am Laser Dude. Welcome to another Laser Dude review. If I can get this off. Hey, so today we are reviewing Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the newest Marvel Disney Plus show. It's finally aired all 6 of its episodes, so if you're one of the people that want to binge it, now's the time you can go binge, and I'm going to review it. So this takes place, a little time after Infinity War. People are getting settled into their roles. We follow Sam, who is like, okay, I got the shield. Cap said he wants me to be Captain America, but is that really what I want to do? And we got Bucky, who's like trying to make amends for the mistakes he made in the past. And that is the basic plot of the Winter Soldier, or Captain Falcon. See, I already did it. I wasn't even joking. I already did call him Captain Falcon. Anyway, that's the plot of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, as they also come across this new threat that is taken on in a unique perspective that you didn't really consider when thinking about the Snap stuff. Okay, so first of all, I want to say that I love all the characters for the at least the returning characters that they brought back. I love Sam Wilson as the Falcon and how he's struggling with the choices that he made. I love Bucky and how he's still coming to grips with the fact that now he's not running from anyone. He's not on the run anymore. He's been pardoned, but now what does that mean? What does he have to do living with the consequences of the Winter Soldier? And what does the world overall need when it comes to Captain America? I'm going to quickly just go over the stuff that I like about this for the non-spoiler part of the review, because I really want to get into the spoiler parts really quickly. Basically, if you are sucked into the Marvel universe, you're going to enjoy this. There's going to be a lot of fun to be had with the characters. You're going to be able to follow them through this. And it's going to be interesting to see how it all turns out. And so as I say, I like the dynamic that the Falcon and the Winter Soldier have, and how both of them still get around each other's ears. It's interesting because they're like the two friends who were not exactly friends. They were friends with somebody else, and then that person left. And it's funny. That was how me and Lex Presley, if you've seen some of my videos, you know who he is. We were more friends with a different friend, and then that friend moved away, and then we started hanging out with each other. But anyway, just a little side history. But I've been in that situation is what I'm trying to say. So I know how it's like and how you're adjusting to a new dynamic. So yeah, I like that about the show. The action scenes are really great. This is the first, we've had great action scenes in these shows, especially from Daredevil and from Punisher. Those have been great. But they still felt like TV action, really great TV action, where there's some of the scenes in here I'm like, okay, this feels like it's basically just a movie. And the action scenes are just that good. I will say that I think the movie really does a good job in showing what Sam Wilson is going through in his struggles that he has in accepting and considering the mantle of Captain America. I'll go into more of those, but spoilers. Just basically, if you like the Marvel stuff, you're going to like this. Keep watching it. You're this far in, you might as well keep going. So this is me giving my spoiler warning. If you do not want to be spoiled on this show, and don't watch continuance on, I do recommend it. It gets a recommendation out of me. So, first things first, I will say the show does have problems. And the problems that I feel like it has are the stuff that I don't feel like it fully thinks through what it needs. Or some of the decisions that the characters make are so extreme, and I'm just like, wait, what? Because, okay, so they find out, if spoiler, now that there's new super soldiers out there, and they have a cause, they're called the Flag Smashers, and they're like, hey, all of us who are still here for the 5 years, we we flippin' exist too, you know? It's not just these new people that have been suffering. We went through the suffering more than they did. For them, it was like a snap, and now they're like, oh, I don't live in my house. For us, we had to suffer through this. And it's interesting because you don't really consider some of the positives that Thanos' snap could have happened, because there's probably was less, when you have a common enemy and a common goal and a common uniting factor, you let go previous prejudices and ideals in order to move forward as the human race. And it's interesting for these people, it's like, we were there. We were brothers and sisters in arms going through this tragedy, and now all these people come back with all their stuffy ideals and they're messing everything up. And it's interesting for people who have been displaced by the new people that came back, because they're having to deal with the new people. Is like, oh, you're back? Well, here's your house back. It's like, well, wait, I was living in it. Well, too bad. Go somewhere else. And it's an interesting take on that sort of thing. I will say, though, that some of the characters I didn't really like. Okay, Sam Wilson, I loved his character arc on all of this, and they do good things with him where he's like, hey, I talk to people who've been through war, who've been through this sort of thing, and I've been able to reach them as a soldier to soldier, person to person level. I want to do that, and I love that, because that was the Captain America side that Steve saw in him. That's why I think he chose him over Bucky. Bucky is a soldier and a good one, but he still is racked with guilt and is still a little bit, I think, over in this whole mindset of, take out the target sort of thing. And I think he's still not all there, where Sam gets the responsibility part. But I will say, the whole thing where he's like, I gotta talk to Carly, I gotta talk her down. I'm like, dude, she blew up a building of people in it. She killed people. Murderer. Why are you going so easy on her? Like, I was kind of with New Captain, which I'll get into that in a sec, when he's like, this person murdered people, not just did stuff that caused people to die. She straight up set off a bomb. Now, maybe he doesn't know that specifically, but it does feel like a whole time he's like, come on, Carly, knock it off. Don't do this to yourself. She's already did it. She's did it to many people. Reach them if you can, but there comes a point where you got to give out some justice. That's one of the things where I feel like it didn't exactly fit with the character. I feel like if they arrange some of the scenes, or maybe she kills people after that first encounter. Like, she hasn't killed anyone yet. She's just stealing supplies and whatnot. But then after that encounter, then she's like, I got to go all the way with this. And then she starts killing people. Then I would have bought that whole thing a little bit more. Also, I feel like the Winter Soldier's reaction, oh my gosh, to like, okay, we need information on Hydra, and the Winter Soldiers is like, all right, well, let's talk to Zemo. It's like, okay, and I'm going to break him out. Sorry, what? Look, Zemo in this show is so good. I want to say that right now. The actor who plays Zemo, in Civil War, I loved all of his scenes, but I really felt like it didn't connect to the main plot. Like, he felt like he was in his own movie. So that's why I didn't feel like he was the best villain, just because I didn't feel like he was the best utilized. And so when I heard he was coming back for this, I'm like, all right, Zemo's going to be the villain. But he isn't really the villain of the show. Like, he's in here. But I also like what they do with him, He's an anti-superpowered hating person. And he takes that to its extremes, to the point where you gotta kind of respect the guy for going all the way with it. The scene where he's shooting at Carly and he sees the super soldier serum, and instead of being like, now I will be more powerful and I can take... No, he's like, smash, 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 bam, 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 bam. It's like, destroy it. No compromise, no half measures. Do not, if this is what you believe and this is your ideals, you go all the way with it. And I love that part about his character. There are so many times where he could have gotten away. Like, there's a time where he gets the car and then he could have just left them behind. He kills, that other scene where he just kills the scientist. I'm like, okay. Like, Zemo was the most consistent character throughout this whole show. And I felt like, at first I was like, why isn't he going anywhere? Why isn't he running away? But I'm like, no, Zemo wants to kill superhumans and bring them down, and this is his best chance to do it. I mean, for him, it doesn't really matter. Just kill superhumans. It's like, it works for me. It doesn't matter how we do it. Just do it. So, so Zemo was really good. I really liked the actor, and I loved how they gave him, they made him a Baron. I think he probably was a Baron in Civil War, but we didn't really get a chance to go into that, where we see how he's rich and the places that he has. And I also like that the Wakandans get involved in here, and they're like, okay, this guy killed our king, we cannot just allow him running loose. And yeah, Zemo was just so much fun, and I really liked his character. Carly, I felt, was weak. I got what she was coming through and doing, but I felt like everything she did just could be so easily explained, like the wrong thing to do. These people are going to vote on something that's going to limit our resources. Let's take them, kidnap them, and kill them. That will make them see our side. Come on. And don't get me wrong, the fights with her were really good, but I never was really with her in terms of her motivation and stuff. I was like, why are you even doing this? I mean, help people, kill people, not exactly the same thing. But then we come to New Cap. Yeah, John Walker, I think it's John Walker. He was a surprise that I remember when they first was like, Captain Falcon, see, I did it again, Captain Falcon, it's not Captain Falcon. When Falcon gave out the shield, was like, I'm not going to take it, it's Cap's, it's his, I'm going to walk away from this. You're like, okay, well, maybe he'll eventually pick it up, but they're wasting no time. They're like, here it is, generic white guy with blonde hair and blue eyes. Oh, I'm generic white guy with blonde hair and blue eyes. Anyway, and then they just give it to this guy who you hate his guts by the first look at him. Like, oh, you son of a... And then, once again, though, you gotta specify, people are hating the actor for this performance. Screw you, people. That is terrible. Hate the character, not the actor. Anyway, but you sympathize with his character and get to know his character and feel what the responsibility of Captain America actually feels on somebody's shoulders. And you go with his character throughout his entire journey, and I'm really interested into seeing what happens with the character later. Now, we also get stuff... But now I want to talk about the stuff that we get with Sam. And first, I was kind of on Bucky's side, why are you giving it up and up the shield? Why aren't you just doing it? And I didn't really get what he was all about. And then the show did something that none of these other shows that have replaced black people with white characters and replaced them with black characters. They actually got into how it feels for the black character to be taking on that responsibility. They went on as the old super soldier that you meet in the show, and he's like, I did the exact same thing Steve did. I served my country. I rescued my comrades, and they threw me in jail, tortured me, and I had to fake my death in order to get out of there. It's just like, yikes. It's yikes. And then he's like, no black man would ever be allowed to be Captain America, and if they did allow him, no black man would want to be Captain America. And that's something that hit me. It's just like, gosh, it's something I never really considered, the angle of with with Falcon becoming Captain America. It's like, I never considered his feelings on the matter, his thought process of, can I even do this? Would they even allow me to do it? Everyone's going to hate me because I'm trying to take the place of some white savior hero. It's like, and that sort of angle, it's like the first time I've ever seen, for example, they're going to have the Little Mermaid be played by a black actress. Don't really care, but whatever. But they're not going to explain, for her it's not a new thing, and for her she'll just be the Little Mermaid and it'll always have been black. But it's interesting taking it this is a legacy character where Falcon is now becoming Captain America, and he has to take on that legacy and make it his own. But it's also something, if this happened in the real world, people, Flippin' look at Obama. When Obama was president, it was like, we can't have a black man. It was like people said horrible, stupid, racist things then. Can you imagine if this was a superhero thing? A superhero that Captain America was a white guy in the World War II and all the way up to the 2000s, and that shouldn't change. You know, that sort of mindset would still be prevalent. And I love the speech that he gives at the end and how it really hits home. I think it's so fitting for today. And I think it's the only show, this is the only show I've ever seen where a black character is sitting in the shoes that were originally held by a white person, but explaining their feelings on it, explaining how this impacts them, how this impacts their community, what the overall message is. And yeah, I really, really love that. The story flows okay. I wish there was a little bit more of a diabolical villain. Like, Carly is not necessarily diabolical, she's just misguided. Zemo is definitely diabolical, but he doesn't actually get to become really the main villain of the franchise. And he's actually taken out, cordoned off a little, for my liking. I wish he was, a little bit more, had a little bit more of effort. He does get a little bit of the last laugh at the end. And yeah, that sort of thing I think works okay. Power broker stuff. We get it revealed at the end of this that the power broker who's been chasing these flag smashers the whole time was played by Agent Carter, Peggy Carter's granddaughter, or no, not granddaughter, like grandniece, whatever. Anyway, the one that Captain Falcon kissed, Sarah, no, it's not Sarah, it's whatever. Anyway, the other Carter that Cap kissed, she's like a villain now, and she's giving away trade secrets. I was a little bit I could kind of see it coming just because they didn't really hide it all that well. Although it doesn't really make sense why she led them to the power broker's guy who makes super soldier serum and allowed Zemo to kill him. I mean, that seemed like, that seems like a little bit of a risk. Karen Carter. Is it Karen? Oh, jeez, now I'm just blanking. Anyway, I think her story was okay. I don't care about her character enough to really be like, oh my gosh. But I didn't really feel like it fit for her character. But then again, this is 6-7 years after Civil War, so who knows? But it feels like something Cap would have probably fought against after Infinity War, right? She probably went into hiding after Civil War, and then when the whole thing happens, Cap was still an Avenger fighting for stuff. You feel like that's something he should have fixed while he was out there. I don't know, that part just didn't fully work for me. But I like Walker as a character too, and the trauma he's going through, and see where he bashes that guy's throat in with the shield, and it's just covered in blood, was so traumatic. And I'm a guy that I wasn't even all about the shield back in the day. It wasn't until Winter Soldier I'm like, that shield is really, really cool. And, but yeah, it's just that just doesn't feel right. America's legacy, the good, this was supposed to be the embodiment of the good of America, just covered in blood. And boy, is that not symbolism for today's, everything happening with today. Anyways, but yeah, I loved everything with Walker. I loved everything with Zemo. Sam and Bucky were handled really, really well. Everything else I was just kind of about. But overall, I think it's a good show, and it deserves a 7.5 out of 10. It's a very good show. I think that it's very good. I think you'll definitely enjoy it if you like all the Marvel stuff. And it's definitely a unique experience on a superhero show that we haven't really seen before. And I'm interested to see where the franchise go. Whether Captain America now gets a new movie. And if that happens, I'm all for it. Anyways, that's all I have to say. I'm Lazy Dude. See you around.
Be sure to check out some of these other videos on my channel. And wait for more coming soon.